All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our 10th episode of Attack on Show. This is a huge monument.
Oh, God, absolutely, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is like the 100th episode for a network series. We're on the 10th episode on YouTube.
That says something.
It's like dog years, but when you're on YouTube, it's just as big.
I mean, especially when we can pump like 3 of these out sober a night.
What's sober?
I don't know. I've not been sober in years.
On this episode, for preview review, we're going to take a look at the upcoming smash hit movie Upgrade. Very excited for this one.
Are you really?
Oh, I can't wait.
Wow.
I'm really excited. On Be Kind Rewind, we're going to go back to the fucking Boondock fucking Saints.
Yeah.
The Norman Reedus classic where you could actually understand what he's saying.
Wow.
And then on Binge Worthy, we're going to stick with Norman Reedus. We're going to watch the de-evolution of his character on Walking Dead.
Is that kind of popular?
It was.
Was it?
And then on I Miss My MTV, we're going to take a look at the Detroit artist Flint Eastwood. We're going to take a look at one of the tracks off her first album, Glitches. Great artist. You're going to want to stick around and listen. Where? Flint?
Yeah.
Oh, it's drinkable now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You can trust the government.
Absolutely.
This is
Attack on Show.
All right, and welcome back. Like we said in the intro, we're going to take a look at something different.
No.
No? Huh. We're going to take a look at the upcoming film Upgrade. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this movie needs much more of an introduction.
Not at all.
Upgrade.
As a quadriplegic, it must be frustrating for you, someone who likes to get things done with their hands.
Yeah, push the bruise, asshole.
Here's the thing. 4 guys murdered my wife.
Don't you fucking catch us! Wait, is this a Crow movie?
No, it seems like, yeah.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again?
We can rebuild him.
Call it STEM, a computer chip that has the potential to change everything.
We have the money.
It's a new, better brain.
I am STEM, the system operating your body for you.
Can anybody else hear you?
No, only you. May I point something out? In the drone surveillance footage, Sir Brantner, Marine Corps, address 414 Citrus, Newground. You'll need a plan.
I got this.
This doesn't seem like a well-thought-out plan.
It's a snarky computer.
I need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Thank you.
Stay down, man. Sam, he's got a knife!
I see that. We have a knife too.
Chip allows him to fight, but he can't bend his back.
Yeah, no, I think that's it.
Did he just create the Joker?
You now have full control again, Gray.
Now, Happy Death Day. That is a great English classic.
There's a gun implanted inside his hand.
I don't want that coming out the wrong
Good time. No.
You don't want to blow too much.
No.
I cannot allow us to be killed. We're going to finish the job we started.
All right, so there you have it. That's Upgrade, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Tom Hardy's going to have a busy summer. He's got Venom. He's got...
Rob, that's not Tom Hardy.
No shit?
Yeah, no shit.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so... Well, the more I watch this trailer, I have to say, if they're feeding it with a bit of corn, per se, it's, I think I'll enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah, and this is one of those films that if it wasn't for Deadpool, we wouldn't be watching the preview right now.
Yeah, I honestly, that's what I thought watching the trailer. The reason they released the red band trailer and all the gunshots is it's trying to, I think... milk some of the Deadpool fans out there is to be, if you like Deadpool, watch us.
There's not a lot of, obviously, some dark humor on that. I'm sure this will be a trailer attached to Deadpool and things like that as they come along.
It looks like they're doing the $1 Million Man a good deal and a
They are.
remake.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him.
Amazing that one chip. That's pretty
yeah,
cool
I
chip.
kind of agree, yeah.
So there you have it. There's Upgrade. Let us know if you're going to go see it.
I'm not. No?
No.
That makes a nice Netflix.
That should have been straight to Netflix movie.
Yeah, wow.
So let's go back to fucking Be Kind Rewind. Fuck. On this week's episode of Be Kind Rewind, we're going back to the, many people don't realize this, the Blockbuster exclusive Boondock Saints. That's right. If you had seen Boondock Saints, the only reason why is because Blockbuster was the exclusive distributor of that movie. It didn't go to theaters, didn't make it to Family Video. It was released through Blockbuster. So while working at Blockbuster, I picked this movie up off the shelf. It was in 1999 when it came out. It is a very cool...
I mean, this is the A definition of a cult classic that just fucking exploded.
Yes, and speaking of fucking, if there's one criticism of the fucking script is that they over fucking use the word fucking in it.
You fucking think so?
Who the fuck? Fuck this fucking... How did you do fucking... Fucks?
Yes, if they cut that word out of it, you'd probably have about 35% of the dialogue left. But with that said... An amazing cast. Sean Patrick Flannery, who was a great actor, coming up during that day. He had just finished like Powder. He was always like an up and coming actor. Didn't really make it huge. He did get to play young Indiana Jones when he was younger. He's had a lot of key roles, but just never made it to the leading male role that I actually thought he would become. But this is he does get a shot in this movie with it, and his co-star Norman Reedus
he did all right?
He did okay later on.
Yeah.
But they play brothers. It's like in the Boston, like Irish streets. And basically the premise of the movie is they just get fed up with crime in their neighborhood, and the two brothers just basically go on a killing spree of like the Russian mob.
This is like Lone Ranger heavy, man.
Yes.
Just finding out where all these organized criminals are and just offing them. And then what the storyline goes to where the police are trying to figure out why all these people are being murdered, and it's led by Willem Dafoe, who plays a gay detective and plays the character very well.
Kind of makes me feel like river dancing.
A little bit of comedic humor on his character in the movie. Hilarious, but I tell you, just a very cool action style, different stylized film.
The cinematography is a little different throughout this film, and I
mean, the style of it's very, very neat to where it does some time jumping, where you don't quite see what happens, and then they'll flash back to it later on, and
or you see the end result, and they tell you how they get there.
Which was creative at the time. I think some other movies have mimicked it since, but this was kind of the first to take that route. And
some incredible characters. And I use the term character. They're characters. You know what I mean? It's
And if you love cats, if you're a cat person, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but fair warning. Don't get your heart set on the cat in the movie.
Correct.
Apparently, cats, guns, and alcohol don't mix.
No, I don't understand.
You want to find out what we're talking about? Check out.
Filmed in Toronto.
Was it in Toronto?
It was filmed in Toronto. The bar actually in Toronto still is living off the notoriety of that movie.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'll have to check it out while I'm there. But Boondock Saints, it was an independent film. It took a long time to produce. There was actually, there was high expectations for the movie, but Troy Duffy, the director, actually, he took his time. It was his right. He wrote it. He's directing it, and I think he took too long for the studios, and they had some issues. So that's why it ended up just going to straight to video release at the time. And again, it was only Blockbuster that released this movie.
But incredible.
It grew such a fan base on video alone that it spawned a sequel. And till today, Sean Patrick Flannery and Norman Reedus, they'll go to Comic-Cons together. And people aren't going to Norman Reedus for Walking Dead. They're actually going because they want the two of them to do the Boondock Saints with, you get on your knees with your hands around your head and they stand behind you. It's a cool scene. But if you're a fan of Killing Zoe, Pulp Fiction, the Reservoir Dogs style films.
Again, another one of those films that if it wasn't for those films, the Reservoir Dogs and you probably wouldn't have this film.
So if you're a fan of those, go check out Boondock Saints and let us know what you think. So we're going to stick with Norman Reedus on our next segment. We're going to run into Binge Worthy.
Binge Worthy.
Is it Binge Worthy?
Listen up now. This is serious.
I was just wondering,
No!
All right, and in this episode's Binge Worthy, we're going to take a look at AMC's The Walking Dead.
That's kind of a big deal, right?
It's starting to. Actually, this is a show that's like going in reverse with ratings.
Absolutely.
So we're sticking with Norman Reedus. We just reviewed him in Boondock Saints, so we're going to take a look at his TV career, and which is actually one of the reasons I started watching Walking Dead. As I heard Norman Reedus was going to be on it. In the first season of the show, if you're one of the 5 people out there that didn't start watching the show when it began, definitely watch the first season. The
Then
showrunner.
give up.
Yeah, I mean the showrunner Frank Darabont, who is known for Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, was head of the show for The Walking Dead in its first season. It was only 8 episodes long. The studio actually got upset with him because he would always go over budget. He took too long filming, but he would use filming techniques that were used in movies, and it definitely shows. Really came in with a new approach. It came in with a movie style approach, and that first season just blew you away. It was like watching a movie.
And at that time, you started the Netflix and things like that, and the binging became available, and your opportunity to sit down and watch a whole season. I think this is probably one of the first shows that I sat down and watched the entire first season on, and
Yes.
then and I think for many people it kind of introduced that concept
and
to them.
great acting. Andrew Lincoln. I mean, he was a great find for the network. I mean, he fulfills the character of Rick Grimes perfectly. If you haven't watched Walking Dead, obviously it takes place in a zombie apocalypse. Rick Grimes is the main character. He's a police officer. He gets shot and he goes into a coma. When he wakes up, you're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, which is a great premise.
And which was the premise that made the first season so...
Right, because you're trying to find out what's going on.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
funny scene out of the first episode, apparently the U.S. Postal Service still delivers mail during the zombie apocalypse. You'll see when Rick Grimes returns to his house, mail is just piled up in his mailbox, as if they just kept delivering mail during the zombie apocalypse.
Well, if it was a zombie and that's what he knew, yeah. You've seen them walk in the streets. I mean, come on. Sometimes they do.
Well, maybe the mailman just got so good at running from dogs.
Yeah.
They were okay at running from zombies
There
and
you
could
go.
still deliver mail.
Or the zombies didn't notice him. He just looked like one of them.
But the show is amazing its first season. Frank Darabont was let go after its first season, and honestly, the show has struggled since. Each season just
Oh, wait,
keeps
there was
getting
more than
worse.
one season?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Oh.
I don't even know what season it is on now. I am unfortunate. I think I have become The Walking Dead when it comes to this show because it is a struggle every Sunday to get through by the end of each episode, but I'm so... I'm, 10 years in? Yes.
Into it? Yeah.
I'm curious as to what they're going to do with the show. I read the comic books for a little while. The show, it just went too corny.
Mm-hmm.
Every person they introduce looks like a cartoon character. They dress like a cartoon character. They're not just real people. Whereas when the first season of the show started, I think that's what really grasped people, everybody as a whole, is that there was a realism to
Had
it.
he stayed on, I think it would have diverged greatly from the graphic novel, and yeah.
And this totally, proves the point. Sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather have less episodes of the show
Absolutely.
at a higher quality than they're pumping out more episodes now. But the show's just terrible. The characters aren't. You don't even care for the characters anymore. Norman Reedus.
And isn't that the key to a great show? Is some buy-in to the characters?
Yes. So if the characters aren't good, you're not going to watch.
Right.
Thankfully, that's never going to happen on this series. But for Walking Dead, Norman Reedus, he was the coolest character on the show.
Man, you take that stupid hat and go back to on Golden Pond.
And even when it started struggling during seasons 2 and 3, you could always look for that cool Daryl moment. And he now has just become a grumbling idiot on the show. You can't understand anything he's saying.
They came.
He's the only one who can't find scissors to cut his hair. There's certain things on this series that just aren't making sense anymore, and it's just become comical. You're almost watching... I start rooting for the bad guys now because I just want Rick. I want them all to die and just the show to end, so I can free up time on my Sundays. Trading Spaces is back, so maybe I'll just quit watching. So
Wait a minute. Trading Spaces is back?
Oh, it is. The whole cast, everybody.
I'll be back.
Yeah. So with that said, there's a question mark at the end of this segment's title, which is Binge Worthy. We're gonna save you some time, or I'm gonna save you some time. Don't watch Walking Dead. If you can pull it up on Netflix and you want to be entertained for the first season, watch it. But other than that, skip it. So that's binge worthy.
Hey, Rob, do you know what I miss?
What do you miss?
I miss my MTV.
Like pregnant teenagers?
Oh, fucking A.
This week's episode, we're going to take a look at Detroit artist Flint Eastwood, everybody.
Go ahead. Make my day.
No, Flint, like bad water.
That was last show's moderate with Bad Kingdom.
We're going to take a look at her track Glitches. This is from her first album.
Braids like Frida Kahlo, cigarette smoking shallow, a tattoo vibes don't always follow. Quick wit, a vocal strain. Don't trust the weatherman, it ain't gonna rain. His hands both wave like a freight train, so eloquently spoken. So keep your eyes wide, I will follow you in the darkest moment. Keep your eyes wide, I will follow you. Pictures on my radar, patterns on my sonar. Got me like, ooh, got me like, I will stay with you, you. Pictures on my radar, distortion in my sensor. Got me like, I will stay with you, you.
So there's Flint Eastwood.
Nice. I like that.
Detroit. Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool sound. That song, honestly, is like, I've seen her twice perform live, and she kills that song live. The amount of emotion that's in that song, I don't know the behind story of it.
Maybe
but
she'd come and talk to us about it and we can find out.
that'd be
about the stories.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Flint Eastwood, if you'd like to come on Attack On Show and get some more publicity, I mean, we're reaching
23 people a week?
easily.
Easily.
A week might be a little high.
Okay.
But definitely, I'd love to have you on the show. But an amazing track. If you get to see her in your area, I know she travels up to Toronto and performs. Take a look at her website.
Absolutely.
We've got the link below. See where she's touring. Amazing artist to see live. She sounds terrific. So that's Flint Eastwood. And ladies and gentlemen, that's 10 episodes.
We ain't quitting.
We can't stop. Where's P. Diddy when you need him?
Who's P. Diddy?
Puff Daddy. Sean John. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking out this episode. I'm Robert Holland.
And I'm Jeff Marshall.
This is
Attack On Show.